So go ahead and sit down, get yourself comfortable. We're going to start with some breathing because today is a special day. And I'm going to share my screen once again so we can talk about where we are in the 8 limbs of yoga journey. So hopefully this will come through, and you can let me know if you don't see this 8 limbs poster. So we've gone through the first week. We did the yamas, kind of the things you should try not to do, not harming, not lying, not stealing, etc. The niyamas, we spent a week on each one of them, the personal observances, the things we ought to do. Last week was the asana, and then today is pranayama, breath control. So this is the 4th limb of yoga on the 8 limbs series. And pranayama is a really powerful practice, and it can be integrated at any point during the class. The meaning, prana, means energy. So it's like vital energy, like chi in Oriental medicine or qigong. Chi means energy, prana is the same thing. And yama, so if you remember the yamas, the things, the restraints, there's actually two main definitions for pranayama, and it's interesting because they're kind of opposites. So one is that the etymology is pranayama, so it's like prana is the energy, yama is restraint, so it's like restraining your energy, like containing it or holding it, or kind of like cultivating it, building it up. And then there's a whole other definition, which is prana-ayama. And anytime in Sanskrit you add a at the beginning, it's not doing that. So ahimsa, non-violence. Asteya, non-stealing. Aparigraha, non-grasping. Ayama, not restraining. So prana, opening and expanding. So pranayama can mean both restraining of energy or expanding of energy. So it could be confusing, but if you think about the breath, it's doing both, right? You're inhaling, you're exhaling, you're doing 2 opposite things. And because there's many types of pranayama, some of them like Bhastrika, where you're holding the breath and you're containing it and you're building your energy, or like breath of fire, you're rapidly exhaling. Perhaps over time it's evolved to include both of these practices. You can either contain your energy or you can expand it. So hopefully that's helpful, although that may actually be sometimes there's I had a yoga teacher who said she would do a workshop, and she's saying, well, my hope is that by the end of this workshop you leave here with even more questions than you had coming into it. You know, I think sometimes we're looking for the answers, right? We're looking for like, just tell me what's the right answer and I'll remember that and I'll know it. But she was always encouraging us to actually come away with more questions, to think about things more for ourselves. So I like that, and I hopefully you experience that curiosity for yourself too. So I wanted to share a couple of types of pranayama with you today. One of them we're going to use throughout the class, called ujjayi breath, which is just a really wonderful breathing practice, which is subtle and simple and something you can do very easily kind of in the background. And one of them is a more active breathing practice called Brahmari, which is the buzzing bee breath, and it's actually a lot of fun. So if you're seated comfortably, we'll do a short warm-up, and then we'll get into the Brahmari buzzing bee breath for relieving anxiety and stress. So once you're seated, go ahead and rotate your waist, circling it around. And smooth breathing, just getting your lungs warmed up, your back, your ribs, the diaphragm, even behind your heart. Stretching and releasing around your lungs. You can let your head and your neck move around a little too. Full comfortable breathing. After a few times, you can reverse and go the other way, warming the chambers of your lungs. Take your breath a little bit further to the edges, fully in, suspending it a little bit. With a fully expanded breath, the rotation or the twist will have a little more substance to massage into your organs. And as you exhale, emptying your breath, you'll create a little bit more space to move into. Okay, let your neck swivel very lightly, just a swirling motion around your head, not going to your end range, but just massaging the first couple of vertebrae. Going one way and then reverse, going back the other way. Let your head settle in the center of your spine. And there are actually 5 or more different versions of Brahmari, the buzzing bee breath. And I'll share one with you that I like. And you're going to use your hands for this, and you seal off some of the senses. And this is actually kind of leading into our next limb, pratyahara, sensory withdrawal, turning the mind inward. So the first one, and it's always a little funny because you have to put your thumbs in your ears to kind of close your hearing, but then you won't hear what I'm saying. So just hover over your ears. And so your thumbs are going to plug the ears, and then the fingers and hands are going to cover your eyes, and you close your eyes. And so by closing the eyes and closing the ears, you turn the mind inward, and you're going to make a buzzing sound. So you inhale, and you go, and that's all there is to it. And you'll feel the buzzing, you'll sense it in your brain, in your skeleton, your skull. So go ahead and try for a minute or two, closing the ears, covering the eyes. Your teeth are a little open, but your lips are closed. One more full round, deep breath. Finish. Keep your eyes closed. You can release your hands. Continue to breathe naturally, observing, noticing any sensation. If you notice any changes in your body, your mind, Any small changes here in a short amount of time. You may feel more significant changes if you practice for a longer period of time. And now we'll move into the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. And the easiest way to get to know the Ujjayi breath is to start breathing through your mouth, although we'll later move to your nose. I want you to imagine that you're standing in front of a mirror and you're going to fog up the mirror by breathing out through your mouth. So you inhale and then you exhale, opening the mouth, slowing your breath down, fogging the mirror. Keep doing that for a little while, just getting used to that. So what is the difference between just blowing on a mirror and fogging a mirror? Why does one have a different effect? When you just blow on the mirror, the air moves quickly and it stays cool. When you slow the air down, it gathers the heat and moisture from your mouth and it becomes warm, and that creates the condensation. So the Ujjayi breath is a warming breath. So now you'll do the same thing, but you're going to close the mouth and you'll fog up the mirror, but through the nose, and you're going to hear the sound in the back of your throat. You slightly constrict the epiglottis and it'll sound, some people call it Darth Vader breath. You can do it both on the inhale and the exhale. You hear the hissing of your breath in the back of your throat. Keep practicing that for a little while. It's very much like closing a valve halfway, or like if you have a hose and you pinch your thumb over part of it and it makes the stream a little stronger, a little more pressurized, and you can control the air. You can regulate the speed and the breath rather than just all in and all out. You're managing it, you're controlling the breath, restraining and unrestraining. Pranayama. With Ujjayi breath, you might notice your breath gets longer on the inhale and the exhale. And this is something we can take with us through the rest of the class. A few more rounds here. Let's return just to a natural breath for a moment. And anytime you feel uncomfortable or lightheaded, just simply return to a natural breath until you feel you've rebalanced. If you have a personal intention you'd like to set for class today, take a moment now. Plant that like a seed. Return to the Sufi grind, rotating your waist once again after sitting for a while, stretching your lower back, your hips, and your waist. So So I invite you through the rest of the class today to integrate the Ujjayi breath. It also becomes a really powerful mindfulness tool because this isn't a normal way to breathe, so if you're doing it, you have to be somewhat doing it on purpose. So it allows you to be more present. Rotate the other direction. Now take your right hand, go across your left leg, and your right hand will open out to the side and wrap it around your back, maybe even tucking it around your hip. Inhale, getting taller. And on the exhale, gently rotate a little further. Make sure there's no cramping or any tension there. Elongating taller, inhale. Gently rotate on the exhale. When you're ready, then reverse. Come across the other way. Your hand goes across the leg, the back of the hand to the outside of the knee so that you can draw the body up and forward. The other arm out and wrap around the back. Inhale, taller. Exhale, rotate. How the Ujjayi breath creates a sensation that moves through your body. The vibration of the air in the back of the throat can travel down your spine all the way through into your head. And slowly release, coming back to center. All right. Well, let's come on up to your feet and we'll begin with the swimmer. So taking your bow staff up and over your shoulders and rotating forward in a swimming motion. Okay. Letting your wrists relax, your hips rotate, your back heel can lift as you turn. And I invite you to include your Ujjayi pranayama throughout the whole class today. An anchor for your mind to stay present, a tangible connection to the life force, the prana that we breathe in with each and every breath. Notice how the position, the asana, the opening the chest, the posture, also affects the way you breathe and how your breath feels. When you're ready, then rotate forward, making a swimming motion. It's always fun for, at least for me, to look at different traditions and see where they overlap and to see where there are common universal principles. I think pretty much every tradition draws upon universal principles. It doesn't own them or invent them, it discovers them. It sees them already happening, and therefore the same principles can be found in many different traditions. So we've been talking in our Qigong class about the three treasures, the Jing, the qi and the shen, the three types of energy within us. Let's rotate backwards. And the jing is that physical, sexual, creative, kind of physical power within our lower dantian, our core. The qi is is very much like prana, the energy that comes through our breath, that comes through when we breathe and when we move the air throughout our bodies. And that sounds very much like pranayama, moving energy through the breath. And what's wonderful is that in the yoga traditions, there's a lot more breathing practices, different pranayamas. Qigong doesn't have as many. So practicing yoga, practicing pranayama may help you enhance the experience of qi in your Qigong class too. And of course, there's a lot of back and forth. Take your staff now and roll your neck, massage. And one of the main purposes of pranayama in the yogic tradition is to prepare your body for long periods of meditation, because your breathing and your mind are so integrated, and because the breathing practices are such a great way to focus the mind, to bring the mind to the body. This can also relate to that third treasure, the shen, the spiritual consciousness, our awareness in our upper dantian, our extrasensory perceptions. So now take your staff up and over your head, lower it down and make a slow circle, finding your edges. Sometimes people will rush through this one, but take your time, especially on the back here. So as you go behind you, if you really wait for it and relax, you may be able to go all the way behind you before changing directions. So take your time there. You can take your Ujjayi breath with you as you rotate and open your body. A little bending of your torso can help open your ribs. I like thinking about these movements is like you're getting a massage. It may be intense, but it should feel pleasurable. It should feel enjoyable. It should feel like you're caring for your body. Not that you're forcing your body into anything. Now reverse, go backwards. Seeing the staff as an extension of your body. Not something you're doing to your body, but you're doing with your body. Pulling and pushing slightly apart and squeezing together. You can engage your shoulders. Beautiful. Now coming up above your head. And feel the lungs expand. Feel the breath open wide. Beautiful. And take it down in front of you. Shrug your shoulders, slide your hands inwards, and release. Now to open the prana, to open the breath, we can open up this midsection where our breathing physically happens. Take your staff to one side, hold it like a walking stick, and then wrap it behind your back. And raise it up high. Take your hands as wide as you can. And then wrap your elbows underneath. And you can either place the palms forward, the forearms parallel with the staff, nice and high up on your chest. Or you can wrap your hands under and around. If your pinkies and wrists allow, bend your knees, fold forward slightly and make a swimming motion. I always have an image of a flying fish kind of flying over the surface of the water, flapping the wings, gliding through, and feel the palpation right under your shoulder blades, getting to those hard to reach areas. It should be comfortable in your wrists and neck, so if it starts to get achy, make some adjustments, please. I was surprised to learn that the lungs are closer to your back than they are to the front. We think about the chest when we breathe, but if you open your back muscles, you actually can open your breathing up significantly. Now reverse, going backwards. Feel free to adjust the angle of your torso. You can stand tall or lean forward. Leaning forward usually will give you a deeper massage in the rhomboids and shoulder blades, but you're welcome to adjust. All right, when you're ready, release your hands, but keep the staff up nice and high. Slide your hands now in towards your body. And you're gonna feel the chest now activate, collarbones spreading. Your elbows should have enough room that you can kind of flap your wings here. You're near the end range, but you're not pressed against the wall. Ground your feet, engage your core, and a very gentle lift of your heart. And feel now the chest opening wide, like French doors opening up, fresh air coming in. Maybe even a small smile on your face will open the front body even further. Take a few deep breaths here. When you're ready, slowly exhale, let your body return to neutral, your hands slide down, your staff can just rest between your forearms and your back, keeping your arms in a mountain pose naturally. Feel the breath and body return to neutral. See if there's like new passageways that your breath can move through once your body opens up. A new capacity. Now take your feet wide. Plant the staff in front of you on the floor in the center, about arm's length away, and your hips move back as your arms move forward. Elongate your spine. Stretch your hip joints, your inner thighs. And if you like, summon your Ujjayi breath. Hearing it audibly, feeling it tangibly, which just connects more of you to your breath. It's always good to do a little exploration here. It's like when you come into a campsite, you kind of walk around and look around the area. Come into a pose, just look around the edges, explore the space you're in, moving your hips, your back, your neck, your spine. Take your left hand up high and your right hand down low. And now rotate toward the upper hand side. Feel how the breathing changes when you're in a forward fold and a rotation. New sensations appear. Follow the breath to the edges. The end of the inhale, the bottom of the exhale. On your exhale, return to center, soften the knees, square your hips, and now switch your hands. Right hand up, left hand down. Rotate the upper back toward the upper hand side. Ujjayi breath. If you're focused on your breathing, your mind isn't wandering off somewhere else. Giving your mind something to do, something simple, something tangible, will keep your mind with you. Back to center, bend your knees, soften and rise back up. Shrug your shoulders and relax, release. Fantastic. Feeling that spaciousness perhaps through your breathing apparatus. Take the staff behind you to your waist and slide your hands in close, your feet wide, and circle now. Your knees straight, your feet wide. You can feel the inner thighs, outer hips, sacral area. Spreading that warmth through the midsection. And then reverse, other way. Wonderful. And back to center. Okay, nice. Keep the feet wide, your toes can go out even further. Your staff in the center, now shift your body weight from left to right. We've got our daily lunges. You can do these every day. Knees track with your toes. There's a teacher I follow named Katie Bowman who thinks about movement as a form of nutrition. She says, you know, we need the basic categories of movement, just like the basic categories of nutrition. Pushing, pulling, lunges, lifting, all these kind of basic movement patterns. And then you need all the micronutrients, like the vitamins and minerals, so all the little movements too. So moving our body in ways we don't get to in our daily activities can help increase the nutrition of your movement. Hold to one side, lean the staff on the same leg that's bent, and then slide and fold forward, unloading some of your weight into the staff so that you can enjoy and relax into this stretch a little better. Your free hand can slide down the straight leg, keeping this leg firm as you fold and lunge. Neck is neutral. And then bend your knees, rise up, and move to the other side. Shifting your weight, leaning and folding as you lunge. Bringing the blood, the energy to parts of your body that may be somewhat neglected, maybe somewhat left out from daily movement patterns. Reconnecting, including all parts of you. And now bend your knees and rise back up. Return. Shake your legs and release. Now you probably know where we're heading next. If we did side lunges, we don't want to forget our front to back lunges. So take your right leg forward, left leg back. Your left hand can have the staff, and just a light touch here is perhaps all you need. Gliding your hips front to back. If you've dropped your Ujjayi breath somewhere along the way, you can always pick it back up and put it right back with your next breath. Hold that lunge, and you can explore the upper branches now. You can raise one hand, maybe two hands. Warrior one. If you tend to hold tension in your face, your forehead, your neck, your jaw, one of the best asanas is called smileasana. It's basically just smiling. It's not a real asana, but it should be. Just a little smile. Just like we stretch our body deliberately, you can smile deliberately. It's not really any different than choosing to lunge, choosing to smile. Feel the effect on you, body and mind. On your exhale, let your arms down, and now plant the staff just next to the front leg. The free hand will rise and then rotate, a revolved lunge. Don't force anything, and you may even shorten your stance a little or adjust, although keep the front knee lined up without collapsing it. Turn and look behind you as you rotate, and find that ujjayi breath. On your exhale, rewind, come back to center, and now I like to move the staff now to the outside of the leg. It may adjust your base, so be careful, make sure you're stable. But then when you open your other arm, you have an even deeper chest opener here. Let the ujjayi breath create a rhythm within you. Exhale, unwind. Now square hips and shoulders, facing forward. The staff lines up at your midpoint. It's okay to shorten your stance. We're moving into pyramid next. As your hips move back, your knees straightens, you fold forward. Not only do your arms extend away from you, they press down through the staff, which elongates your spine, taking some of that hunching out of the back. Protecting the backs of your knees, keeping your legs firm. Find your ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, you can bend your knee and rise up. And now switch your legs, other side. And rocking front to back. So I hope you enjoy that sequence. That's a really wonderful lunge sequence, and you can do this throughout the week. You can do it every day if you want. It's really well suited for modern lifestyle. If you sit a lot, hips and back can get flexed, and this gives you hip and chest extension. Little by little you can ease off the staff, although a light touch can actually help accentuate the purpose of each movement. So find your lunge and explore, if you like, the upper realm. Your arm or both hands can rise up tall. If you have both hands above your head, instead of the palms down, try flipping your palms up and see how your shoulder blades spiral and set back a little bit better with external rotation. If you're feeling pretty balanced and you want to challenge, you might raise up to the balls of your back foot. A crescent lunge. Feel the breath at the peak of your pose. On your exhale, slowly lower your hands. Plant the staff opposite your front foot. For this one, you probably want to lower the heel of your back leg if it's up. Your free hand goes shoulder height. Slowly rotate. Using your breath to guide you along. Keeping the legs the same. Keep that lunge. Pranayama, restraining and unrestraining the energy within you, squeezing and massaging it, compacting and opening it. On your next exhale, rewind, come back, switch your hands, and you may want to move the staff externally outward so you can feel even more opening across your chest. And practicing that inner smile, not smiling to someone else, but to yourself. Feel how your breathing may even open up with a small smile in your face. Exhale, slowly rewind, squaring your hips and shoulders back to the front. Plant the staff, front knee straightens, hips move back. Pyramid pose. Actively pressing down through the staff. You can imagine your thigh bone of your front leg is sucking up and backward, away from the foot. Imagine the spine getting longer. On your next inhale, bend your front knee, rise back up. And walk your feet in. Give your body a little shake. And release any little residual tension. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna move to some balance, some hip opening, and then we'll come back to some breathing practices. Take the staff to one side, the same side leg will lift and rotate in a circle. For a little challenge, try lifting your staff or lightening it or just setting it to the side. Upper body relaxed. Eight to 10 times and then reverse directions. A fun challenge is to try with your eyes closed, and with the staff in place you may find you can balance, but you challenge the vestibular system a little more than the visual balancing system. When you're ready, switch your legs, other side. Lightening your touch as much as you can. Generating that warmth in your core. Reverse when you're ready. Happy hips. And give your legs a little shake. Okay, getting down to the ankles and toes, feet together, fingertip touch on the staff, toes, heels, back and forth. And if you'd like, you can add a third movement. So you can go toes, heels, and then a little squat. You bring the knees forward, the hips back, and you feel a little stretch along the front of your shins. So you can go 1, 2, 3. And it's a little tricky to get just the right angle, but there's a point where you can actually feel the shins stretch in the front of your feet. So feel free to add that third step if you like. Toes, heels, shins. Very nice. All right, and then balance and hold up on your toes. Balance, maybe take the staff away. Feel the calves strengthen, the arches strengthen. And now back on your heels, hold, toes up. It's a little trickier to balance, so lean slightly forward so you don't go back. Feel the tops of your toes. And then a little squat. Your hips sink down and stretch the front of your shins. All right, rise up and release, shake it off. Nicely done. All right, let's take a 30-second water break and we'll come back briefly. Okay, when you return, if you have multiple sizes of bow staffs, grab the tallest one you've got. If you don't own a 6-footer, this could be, you get yourself a little holiday gift, or if you like, because there's a lot of stuff you can do with a 6-footer that just, it's harder to do with a shorter one. If you don't have a 6-footer, it'll still work, but you'll feel the difference with a little more space. Due to the some of the shipping problems and shortages, I'm actually running out of 5-foot bow staffs, so I'm considering I'll probably have to actually just chop a foot off of some of my 6-footers and have 5-footers to sell. Because it's I literally can't order any right now with all the supply chain issues. So if you have a long staff, you'll be able to extend a little further into this pose. But do your best with what you have. Take a wide stance, and let's put the staff in your right hand. Take it behind your right leg and then in front of the left ankle. All right, so it's kind of wrapped up and secure. You've got 3 points of contact, and then extend your right arm out. You can see where the length can give you a little bit more opening here. Reach your left hand up high, inhale. And now you're gonna rotate to your left, and the staff will resist. It'll provide a Yama for your arm, a restraint. And breathe your Ujjayi breath, your Pranayama, as you open your chest. Feel the sensation spread across the collarbones, the pecs, the inner arms. Follow your breath to the peak and the valley. On your exhale, rewind, come back. Beautiful. And now release and switch sides. The other hand now, left hand, go behind your left leg, in front of the right ankle and foot. I like to place this, you can either do it on the back of the hamstring or up near the crease where it meets your hip. Find the right angle and then extend your arm out. Your right hand high, inhale, elongate your spine. Now turning on the exhale, opening your breath fully. Ujjayi breath at the edge of your position. Feeling your mind absorb into the sensations through the breath. On your exhale, rewind, come back, and release the position. Beautiful. And one more, we're going to move to a triangle pose, another one where the longer staff may be useful. Just having like a little longer runway to use. Take a wide stance. Your feet go out pretty wide, okay? Let's do the left hand has the staff. Turn your right toe in, your left toe out. All right, so the toes are lined up with the staff. Extend both arms. And the first step is to lean in toward the staff and elongate the underside here. And breathe. You can feel it in the inside of your leg too. Your hip stays open. Don't drop your chest down like pyramid. It's open across the side. Then the other hand can swoop down, attach to your staff, your thumb up, your pinky down, slide your hand down. And again, rotating your chest toward the sky. Adjust the base as needed. Find your pyramid pose. Maybe even find a small smile. An inner smile, not for the outside world, for the inside. On your exhale, turn the head down, bend the knee, and rise up and out. Release your upper arm. Feel that extra space, the lift through the ribs. Switch now. Your left toe in, your right toes out. Plant the staff in line with your toes, arms elongate. Lunge forward, opening hip and chest. Take that hand, swoop it under, reattach. And make any adjustments as needed. You might need to move the base around. The chest and hip rotate to the sky. And maybe even your head turns up if you feel stable. Comfortable breath here. Ujjayi breath to the back of the throat. Turning your head to look down, bend your knee, and rise up. Return. And shake your legs and arms, release. Nicely done. All right, I want to give you a little bit of a balance challenge and somewhat of a peak pose. A good, a peak pose is good because it also draws your full attention. When something's a little more challenging, your mind really can't wander, so it's a great way to pull your attention in. This one is a warrior 3 or a phoenix. And you can, if you have your longer staff, you can switch back to a shorter one. You don't need the extra length for this. You're gonna bring your feet together, your right hand forward, and you pick up your right foot, balancing. The same side leg is lifted as the side that you're holding the staff, okay? Now the other arm will bend, kind of cocked and ready at the side. You're going to extend your right leg and your left arm together and pull it in. Out and in. And just find your balance here. It's kind of like the bird dog when you're kneeling. And gradually you're gonna fold forward. The torso moving toward horizontal. The standing leg elongates. Moving into your warrior 3. And then when you're ready to hold, find the extension, the edge where you feel stable yet challenged, and hold. You can lighten the touch on the staff to let the leg take over more. And when you're ready to come back, soft landing, bend the knees, and standing tall. Pause in between, take a breath. Release unnecessary tension. And now switch. So left hand, left foot comes up, Right hand forward, start standing tall and then just tilt forward a little at a time, finding where the edge is rather than just trying to go right to your full extension. Each side might be quite different, in fact. Back and forth, finding where your edge is today. And when you've found it, you can hold. If you can find your ujjayi breath in the midst of your challenge, you can summon that power with you. And when you're ready to return, bend the knee, rise slowly, and release. All right, put the staff down and roll your soul, massaging your arches now. Wonderful, tilting in and out. The ujjayi breath is a warming breath, and sometimes you can feel a little overheated. So especially if you notice like your head's getting hot or your whole body feels hot, you can take little exhalations out through your mouth. It's kind of like venting the steam from a rice cooker or like a pressure cooker. So if you feel overheated, you just do a big sigh out through your mouth. That's a cooling breath. Go ahead and switch your feet when you're ready. So eventually, a lot of yoga practices like Ashtanga, you do the ujjayi breath for the entire series, and Ashtanga series can be sometimes an hour or 90 minutes of pretty intense asana. And so by the end of it, you have tremendous heat in the classes, everybody be sweating, and sometimes it can be too much of a good thing though. So if you feel overheated, breathe out through the mouth to cool it off. All right, and let's pause there. Feel the sensations of your feet now, like roots digging into the ground, connecting to the earth. Feel that warmth circulating. Okay, let's move the staff off to the side. And we're gonna move down to the floor. Take any props you might like with you. The folded blanket or block would be nice. Any straps you might want to use. And we'll lay down on your back. Tuck in your knees. For back rolls, if you like using a staff under your knees, this can be a great way to stabilize and take pressure off your neck. So if you have neck tension, try the staff behind your knees for your back rolls. And as always, you've got alternatives. If rolling up and down doesn't feel good, try going left to right instead. Laying down, drawing your knees in, open your arms, twist side to side. Slow release. Returning to your ujjayi breath. And come back to center. Plant your feet parallel with your hips, your palms pressed down, your chin tucks in. Raise your hips up to a low bridge. Strengthening the backside of your body, your chin stays down. Ujjayi breath. This creates almost like one of the three locks, the Jalandhara Bandha, where the neck lock, when your chin is down in this position, it seals the energy in your throat. So the Ujjayi breath might even be more pronounced here. Let the heat slowly gather. Very slowly from the top to the bottom, let your spine release back down. Figure 4, take your right leg up and over, cross over your left thigh. Your two hands encircle the left leg, either behind the thigh or all the way to your shin. And draw your leg towards you, keeping your ankle flexed up. This is where you may need a pillow if your head is falling off a cliff. Support your head. This is also where Malus knows she has a high likelihood of getting some attention when I'm laying down. So we'll begin our cat yoga class now. So patiently breathe, let the outer hips release. This one can often take a while before your body relaxes into it. When you're ready, let your fingers release, come down slowly. And you can stretch out a little in between and then switch sides. So bend your right, cross your left, and circle your arms around the right leg and draw it towards you. Whenever you're ready, slowly release. And the legs come down. You can windshield wiper your knees again to release anything from your hips and back. I like to finish by drawing the power and the attention energy back to your core in our sleeping tiger, a Dao Yin or a Qigong practice that plays well with our yoga. So lift your legs up, tuck your pelvis, flatten your lower back. The knees about 90 degrees or a little more. Your fingers can rest on the low abdomen. And draw all your attention to the low belly as you breathe. Your chin down, your eyes down. Find your Ujjayi breath. Anytime you hold a position for a while, you'll experience postural erosion. Little by little, the pose will start eroding. So every now and again, recommit, readjust, realign. Come back to the beginning and start over. Few minutes of sleeping tiger could do wonders for the prana, the energy within you. This is more than a physical position though. The mental experience where your consciousness, your mind goes, makes a big difference too. Even if you're holding the position accurately, but your mind's wandering all over the place, your energy is kind of leaking. Turning your attention inward recirculates your energy. So you'll get even more out of this, the more your mind can stay with it. So let the physical sensations draw your mind in, let the breath draw your mind in. Concentrating your power, and the greatest power that you have access to is your attention. So summon your attention. Filling the core like a reservoir filling up. All your little streams of thoughts get funneled, channeled in to the core. When you're ready, you can hug your knees close to your body. Release that pressure from the legs. Circle, rotate, rock. Take a minute or two for any final stretches, shapes. Any movements that would feel good right now. You can even flip over if you want to a child's pose, a pigeon, or a cobra. And whenever you finish with your yoga recess, we're going to go into our Shavasana. It's a good idea to give yourself some props, some blankets, pillows, eye pillows. A nice way to end is to also elevate your legs. You could put your legs up on a chair, a couch, or up a wall. The blanket can cover you to retain your warmth or to add weight, which can feel very grounding and calming. Just having something weighted on your body. Get into a position that you can really truly relax into. Let your facial muscles release extra tension. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Feel that relaxation spreading downward and inward. For the next few minutes, surrender control. And you can release any control over your breath, but continue to watch it as it flows all the way through you. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana for a little longer, feel free. If you're ready to transition back, you can begin moving your fingers and toes, moving your arms, your legs. Tucking your knees into your chest, rocking your spine. Rocking side to side. And pausing as you roll to one side. And pressing up to a comfortable seat. Let's finish with 1 minute of Brahmari buzzing bee breathing meditation. Plug your ears with your thumbs, cover your eyes with your fingers. And for 3 or 4 breaths, make a buzzing sound that vibrates all throughout your brain and nervous system. You can join your palms to Anjali Mudra and prayer pose. And I hope that this pranayama class has circulated, expanded your energy. You can take that with you through the rest of your weekend. Namaste.